Hey there, fellow golfers. Golf Coach Dan coming back at you today. And in today's video, we're going to talk about what I think is a popular topic, how to get more compression in our iron shots, right? Sometimes it's referred to as trapping the ball more. And if you're unfamiliar with compression or trapping our iron shots, essentially what it's going to do is help us get more ball speed and more distance. So if that sounds good to you, let's dive in. All right. So essentially, we need two key pieces in our downswing or swing as we come into impact to trap the ball, okay? So as you look at me face on here, the first thing we need is forward shaft lean coming into the ball, right? Most of our irons are built to be leaned forward at impact so we can slightly de-loft it. And as we de-loft the club, we can kind of squeeze and compress that ball more. The more loft you have coming into impact, the less compression you'll have, right? So to get more compression and distance and ball speed in these iron shots, the first part of this is forward shaft lean at impact. Okay, now, what I think a lot of people don't know about this is what we also need is for the club head to be trailing the handle as we approach the ball in the downswing. So I have an alignment stick dropped on the ground. I feel as though I've placed that more or less under my hands, maybe a little bit outside that. But the feeling is, as I come into impact here, if I'm parallel with that stick, that's going to be okay. I think the more you get the club head behind, angled sort of the inside out of it, the more you're going to be able to trap and compress that ball as you come into impact, okay? Now, I don't really like to look at the golf swing and the pieces of it as good and bad per se. Usually I just look at it as cause and effect, okay? So a lot of us want to compress and trap our iron shots more, but what I find helpful as a concept is to contrast this with what would be the opposite of compressing our golf ball. In my opinion, the opposite of compression would be what we do to a bunker shot or a flop shot, right? So on a flop shot or a bunker shot from face on, we're looking to release the club head past the handle a little faster. That's going to help us add loft. And we already talked more loft equals less compression and ball speed, but usually more spin, which is nice around the greens, right? And then if I come from more down the line view here, we're going to also typically encourage on a bunker shot or a flop shot more of this outside in club path where the club's going to be outside the handle as it comes back down into the ball. We might refer to this as steeper versus what I recommended for more compression, which would be a shallower, approach into the ball, okay? So that basically covers it. If you want to compress the ball more, we need two key things. We need a shallow approach into the ball, so the club head trailing the handle from this down the line view as we come on in here. And then from face on, we need more shaft lean. And like I mentioned, if we're looking to loft the ball higher around the green and stop it more quickly, what we're looking for is essentially less compression. So again, more of that club head coming from outside in, and we'll encourage or allow for that handle, the club head to pass the handle faster through the downswing. Okay, so I hope you find this concept helpful in terms of compressing the ball more or less. Now, ideally, I think all golfers, we should be striving to be as in control of our ball flight as possible. So the more you understand the cause and effect of what creates different kinds of ball flights and results, the more empowered you should be to affect positive change in your golf game. Okay, so any questions, leave them in the comment section for me. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd really appreciate that consideration. All right, I'll see you next time.